What would be like the wildest thing you've done to impress somebody or try to get someone?
Watch a Miyazaki movie.
Oh my God. The life just shot out of your whole like body. Your soul just left you.
Learning about Akira. Ooh, baby. Welcome to another episode of Why Won't You Date Me, a podcast where me, Nicole Byer, was trying to figure out why I was so single, even though you could come on the table and tell me it's a straw wrapper.
What?
My guest today is very funny.
I gotta hear more about that moment.
Okay, I start every episode with saying that I would date you even though you lied to me about what your cum is.
Funny. Funny.
And I don't know when I started it, but I've continued doing it. I'm running out of things. And I had this little balled up straw wrapper, and that's where I got straw wrapper from.
I mean, and knowing you, it's like, that could have happened. I could have totally, I could totally see a dude be like, no, it's just a straw wrapper.
And I'm like, okay, babe,
okay.
Thank you. I believe you. You're not just coming on my coffee table.
I would never do that.
I would. 2-3 years ago, I would stay in a relationship with somebody who came on my table and then lied about it. I'd be like, whatever, he loves me. Anyway, the person whose voice you're hearing is a comedian. Yes. One of the funniest people I know, a dear friend. And you've seen her as Nancy on CBS Ghosts. She's also the co-host of Headgum's A Funny Feeling, where she and Marcy Jarrow cover...
I say it that way, too. I'm
Do you really?
Me and Marcy Jarrow.
Because it's such a fun last name.
It's a fantastic last name.
Right?
Especially knowing that it's like, isn't it like Creole, like fun,
it
old
might be
French?
Because she's
New
from
Orleans.
She's from Louisiana.
She's from Louisiana.
She's from Louisiana. Well, that podcast is about spooky and paranormal stories. Yeah. And I'm just so excited she's here. It's Betsy Sodaro. Scooter-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Ski-ba-ba-ba-da-ba.
Scooter-ba-ba-ba-ba-dee-dee-dee-doo-ba-ba-ba-ba. Before we started recording, we were talking about Vegas.
Yeah, we love Vegas. We've gone a couple of times together.
Yes, and it was delightful. I was doing shows at the Cosmopolitan, and they gave me 5 free rooms.
I can't believe that.
Right?
You also hid that you were doing shows because, well, Steve started it because he was like, what about this weekend? Knowing that you were doing shows, but he didn't tell us. You didn't tell us. And then we're all like, yeah, it's a perfect weekend. And then you're like, you know what? Let me see if I could get us some rooms. And then Steve was like, Nicole, you're performing there. We want to come. And then we're like, Steve, you didn't tell us any of that's happening, but let's go. That was awesome.
I don't know why I was so cagey about it. I guess it's weird to be like, friends, come on a trip, see me perform, and then we'll gamble and have a nice time.
It was so fun. Not cagey. If you ever want that again, we'll be more than happy to join.
Betsy, that's so nice.
Yeah.
You took the worst pictures. It was really funny. You sent these pictures, and it was just me on stage, but blurry.
Pure blur.
And so far away.
So far away. Pure blurry. And I was trying really hard. It's this is such a cool moment. Nicole's in a huge theater. This is so exciting and cool. And then I was just oh my God. And then when we went and saw drag.
Yeah, we went to Drag Race. That was so fun.
It was so much fun.
I love Drag Race Live. Vegas is such a special place.
It's so strange.
Okay, so I was there over the weekend.
Yes.
This airs in June, so I was there several weekends ago.
Yes.
And at noon on a Saturday, or was it? I think it was Saturday, noon. This woman was falling down. Her ass was out, full ass out. She was wearing a very nice thong, and her butt cheeks, lovely. And this man was just dragging her around, and they kept going to every elevator bank. And I was like, I don't think you're staying here. I simply don't think you belong here at the Cosmopolitan.
That is so funny. When it is understandable because it's these places all look, as soon as you get inside, unless it's Excalibur, where they're like knights and shit. For the most part, it's like there's funky art, and you're like, which one am I in right now? And they love that. They're like, yeah, get lost. Get lost and try to get up to your room, even though you're in the wrong casino hotel.
And there'll be like different elevator banks. And you have to just know which side you're staying on. It's very confusing.
It's so tough, but I love it.
And there was these two old ladies who got in the elevator and they just went, how? And then the person I was with was like, oh, you have to scan your key card. And they were like, key card? And I was like, you can't say key card like that.
How did you get this far? How did you step into this elevator and be like, how? Like, how? What are you doing? How'd you get up to your room if you have a room here, you fucking weirdos? I love Vegas.
I love it too. It's so fun.
It's so much fun.
God. And romantic. Just kidding. Not really.
Not one bit.
But I did meet this bartender. His name is Gino, and he's at the bar right by the check-in and the valet. And he was just so nice. He had the kindest eyes. And I was absolutely shit-faced. And he came over. It was like 2 nights in a row we went to go see him.
Yes.
And he was like, hey, I'm going on a break, so in case you're gone, I just wanted to say goodbye, and it was lovely to meet you. And I was like, Gino, I'll be here. How long is your break? And he was like, an hour, and I was like, I don't think I'll be here, Gino.
Goodbye, and nice to meet you. That was nice.
And I won $3,000 off one machine.
Nicole.
I know.
That's odd. Like slot machine?
A slot machine.
Nicole, how much did you put in? Like $20,000?
I put in $20,000.
Got $3,000.
And mortgaged my house. And I got $3,000. No, I put in $40. I was down to my last 40. Because I took out $1,500. I was like, I'm going to ball this weekend. And then I was up $1,000 the first day. Second day, down $1,480.
Yes.
And I was so sad.
Yeah.
I was like moping around being like, oh no, I did bad. And then this machine hit, and then it's called a hand pay. A nice lady came out. And she said, she counted it out. And then she said, do you want taxes taken out? And I said, what? You got to take my money? 20% tax in Vegas. So
do they give you like a receipt or something? Because what do you do then?
I think I got a 1099 or something. I don't know about taxes.
I hate them.
I hate
them. I also feel we shouldn't have to pay them right now.
Betsy.
Oh, I'll pay the state. I'll pay state taxes.
I don't think we should have to pay federal taxes either. You heard it here first.
You heard it here
first. We shouldn't have to pay no federal taxes.
No.
Well, my whole thing is like, if you could come after me and then be like, we're going to put a lien on you or whatever and take the money, you know how much I owe.
Yeah, so why
just take it out?
Just do that.
Take it out. What are we doing? Why do I have to sign up for TurboTax and then put in all the information and then have them be like, you get money? Just send me my money.
Just send me my money.
Or take the money.
Take my money.
I didn't do taxes for 5 whole years because my dad,
Nicole.
my dad said, if you don't make money, they don't care about you. And I was not making money at the time because I was working at Lane Bryant making $7.50.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you take any of my money, that's not nice. So I just didn't file for 5 years. And then when I moved out here and started making a little bit of money, I kept all of it just in case. And I brought it to this man. He was like, you're a mess. Also, rather organized. But I cannot believe you haven't paid in 5 years. But then he was like, it's fine. You don't owe anything. You're gonna get a nice chunk. And I think it was $1,000.
Hey, man. We'll take it. We'll take it. I do like you being like, I'm not paying, but I will keep everything.
Well, here's
for
the
thing.
Future. I'll be a criminal, but when I go straight,
you'll be ready.
When I go straight, I'm gonna have all the stuff I need. Well, because I was like, one day I'll have to file taxes.
Yeah.
One day I'll make money.
Yeah.
One day.
Someday it'll happen.
Then
it does, and you're like, oh, whoa. Taking out a lot, huh? And there's still crazy potholes in our street.
What is that about? Where does the money go?
Well, we know now.
We do?
Everywhere we don't want it to.
Yeah, we're funding wars and stuff. And guess what? I love peace.
We love peace.
No wars.
Only peace, man.
Wait, you grew up in Colorado.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Where in Colorado?
Breckenridge, Summit County, so big ski place. Yeah, and it was like in elementary school every February. They're like, okay, you're not going to school today. You're going skiing or snowboarding or ice skating. Like, you have to pick a winter activity and go do it. And that's like how I learned how to ski and stuff. Isn't that awesome?
So in February, the whole month of February?
No, but Thursdays and Fridays.
You get to just go outside and ski?
Yeah, dude.
Or snowboard?
Yeah.
Or
and
ice
you got
skate?
like free lessons and stuff. Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
Yeah.
Do they still do it? Do you know?
I doubt it.
I feel like every state should do that.
Right, where it's like, look at the cool outdoor world that you live in.
Yeah.
Go have fun.
Go have a nice time.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up in Jersey, and there's a lot of like land.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like go farm. I don't know.
Farm. I mean, that would be kind of fun.
Go
of like
till the land.
Go learn how to grow stuff.
Right? It's the garden state.
It is the garden state.
Go garden.
Go garden state.
I think that would be nice. And then I guess in Seattle, go dance in the rain.
You gotta go dance in the rain. That would be so funny, sending a bunch of elementary school kids out and just be like, dance in the rain. Embrace Seattle.
I think it would
be awesome.
Maybe help with the happiness there.
Yeah, I can't imagine living. I shot a movie in Vancouver years ago in the month of November.
Oh.
It rained every single day, all day long.
Oh.
I was so sad.
Yeah.
I need sun.
I need sun too. And I didn't realize that until I moved here.
Yes.
I guess I was just raw dogging it in New York because it gets gloomy in the winter.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how sad I was till I moved here and I was like, wait, I'm happy multiple days in a row?
Yeah, this is nuts, dude.
This is crazy.
And like, whenever it's a little bit gloomy even here.
Like today.
I'm like, I can't get out of bed. Yeah. Today I was like,
tough.
I gotta just keep sleeping, I guess.
Yesterday was tough too because it was also pretty
gloomy and chilly.
Yes. And I woke up and I went, no, this won't do. And I went right back to sleep and I woke up at noon 30, ready to attack the day. And then I went on a walk and got lost in my own neighborhood.
Whoa.
I took a wrong turn and then I said, will I ever get home? And then I was just
did you use your phone or did your phone? Did you use anything or were you like, let me figure this out?
It never occurred to me to pull out my phone.
Good.
Because I was like, I'm in my own neighborhood. If I just head down, I should hit my home. I don't know.
Yes.
And then when I did start panicking, I finally saw a house that I knew. And I was like, oh, okay, home is this way. But I was like,
Nicole's been missing for 2 weeks. And it's just been like within 500 feet of your house.
It was scary for a hot second. And then Clyde was taking a shit and this man came out of his house and was crossing the street. And I was like, he's going to get me. He knows I don't know where I am. And then he just went into his car because it's a neighborhood and he's not trying to kill me.
Yeah, people are walking their dogs left and right in this place. That is so funny, Nicole. To immediately think like I'm in danger. I'm in the
danger.
Woods now.
I'm going to die.
This man who lives deep in the woods is going to kill me.
I wasn't even in the woods. I was on a sidewalk. Wait, in Colorado, it's sunny when you ski, but somehow it doesn't melt the snow.
Yeah.
I guess the temperature's low.
Yeah. Colorado's super sunny too.
Right?
And so I grew up with tons of sun.
Was everyone tan and fit?
A lot of people were burnt. Burnt with like goggle marks, like a lot of burnt people.
Coming back to school on a Monday being like, oh yeah, I hit it hard.
And after spring break, whoa, dude. Everybody coming back looking like lobsters.
Here's a question. Did they ever check whether or not you went skiing or did your outside activity? Did you have to like sign in somewhere?
You must, because teachers went with you.
Oh.
And they would then they would bus you to the mountain and then tell you like your lesson is with that person. But I remember skiing with some of my teachers who were really cool.
That's so
Mr.
wild.
Bennett was my 4th grade teacher, Mr. B, and he was awesome.
Is he still living?
I think so.
Shout out to Mr. Bennett.
We love you, Mr. B.
We love you, Mr.
He would
B.
throw chalk at us, and we loved it. Like if we were talking, he would just be like, quiet, and we loved it. He was awesome.
That's a good tactic to be like, you're being unruly. I'll be unruly.
Yeah, I'll be fun.
Yeah.
And make you stop, even though you love me, hucking chalk at you.
My Spanish teacher in high school, Senora Hardy, had a nervous breakdown during class once because we were screaming. And there was construction in our school, so there was classrooms in the gym with no roof. So people would throw things over the wall all the time. And we just didn't want to learn Spanish. And she went to Peru or something. Or no, not Peru. She went somewhere in South America in college and was like, I'll bring Spanish back to Middletown, New Jersey to all the children. And we were like, fuck you. We hate it. And she got hit in the head with an eraser and then she changed. And something in her, it just knocked her. And then she wouldn't talk to us for the rest of the year. We would go to class and she would be dead ass silent. And we would just be like, Senora Hardy, hola.
Nothing? You really did break her down. You ruined her.
I hope she's okay. Senora Hardy.
Senora Hardy.
I hope you're doing well.
Te gusta.
Te gusta.
Does that mean we like you?
I think so. Muy bonita para, Curly. She had curly hair.
Oh, see.
I don't think I said hair right. Para? That might be dog.
Yeah. Pero.
Pero.
Pecho, piernas, pies, piernas, pies. Did you ever sing that one? Pero, pecho, piernas, pies, piernas, pies. Cabeza, boca, ojos y nariz.
I think you had a better education than me.
Pelo, pecho, piernas. I don't know, something like that.
I don't know.
Senora Keating. No, Keeling? Oh, no.
I don't know.
Remember.
It's okay. School was a long time ago. If you really think about it.
Aren't you so happy we're not in school anymore?
Elated.
Every time I watch a show where kids are in school or something, I'm like, suckers! I do not miss it one bit.
I don't miss it either. Also, I remember, I've said it on this podcast, I know. I remember going to middle school and I was like, when do we go outside to play?
Oh.
And they were like, never. And I was like, what?
Devastating.
And then we never went outside again.
Because, you're still kids.
Yeah, I was a child. I was 12.
Yes.
Let me play.
Nope. You have to be in lockers and you have to, learn about your period. And it sucks.
Yeah, I didn't want to learn about my period.
No, I was devastated. Every health class.
Same.
I was just like, I hate this so much.
My sister got hers first, and I was like, nah, 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 yeah. And then I was like, maybe I want mine. And then it didn't come for so long, and I was so pleased.
You're lucky.
Just having a nice time.
Oh, man.
My titties are small. They didn't come in. Puberty was, people get slammed by puberty and they go away for the summer and they come back like, whoa.
Hubba, hubba.
I came back and everyone's like, same bitch.
I got slammed and everybody's like, uh-oh. Well, look out. Me to be like, I don't want fucking boobs, man. I hate this so much.
Well, they also don't tell you in health class, they are heavy. Your back will now hurt.
Yeah, it's a whole, you have to move your body completely differently.
Yes, and it sucks. Also, nobody in school told me to keep moving my body. Otherwise, I'm going to wake up sore as fuck in the mornings when you hit 30.
Yeah.
It's
Nobody
rude.
tells you anything.
It's so rude.
It's so rude.
Betsy.
Yeah.
I know you don't date much now, but did you date a lot in high school?
No, it was, and this is now too, it was never in my desire. I've never really cared about it, never have wanted it. And I was always kind of a little why do people care so much about this? And I still kind of get that way. And I'm like, no, it's fine. It's fine if people do. But very much especially I feel high school and stuff just being who gives a shit? Why do you care what they think? And so I've never really been into it. And I was like, I think I'm broken. And then I'm like, it's fine.
I think I'm broken.
It's
whatever.
Fine, dude. I'm okay. I'm okay.
I think that's very normal. I think there's so many people in the world out there who are like, I don't get it. I don't know why people want this because I don't know why I wanted it so bad.
Right. And I would just watch friends just be treated like shit.
Yes.
And or change around the person to be like, you're not fun anymore.
Yes.
What's happening?
Yes.
And that weirded me out so much. Where I was like, but you're a bummer now. We usually have fun, but when that guy's around, you suck. Just like he does. It's just like...
It's like Grease. Grease is like a perfect example of a terrible relationship. Sandy changed her whole life. She's wearing tight little pedal pushers.
Now.
She's smoking.
Sandy.
I can't believe.
Come on.
A lot of people do that. They start doing shit that they don't normally do to like get that guy or get that girl. And it's like, why?
What would be like the wildest thing you've done to impress somebody or try to get someone?
Watch a Miyazaki movie.
Oh my God. The life just shot out of your whole like body. Your soul just left you.
Learning about Akira. I am not an anime person except for Pokemon. You know me.
Yeah.
I'll sing the Pokemon theme song at karaoke.
It's you blew my mind. I was like, I didn't know you could do theme songs.
You
this
sure
is a game changer, dude. It was great.
Miyazaki, and I went to the Miyazaki exhibit.
Okay.
At the Academy Museum.
Yeah.
And it is interesting if you like it.
Yeah.
But they're very beautiful movies, but boy, oh boy, are they slow for a cartoon that can do anything. We're going to take our time and tell a story? No, thank you.
I need you falling off a cliff.
Yes.
I need you getting smushed by a piano.
Yes.
I need something funny and cartoony to happen.
Instead, I watch Kiki's Delivery Service about a cat and a witch, and then she's flying on a broom and leaves her fucking family. And I said, why you got to leave your family to be a witch?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't think you should have to.
Me either. Then I watched Porcos or something. It was a flying pig. That should have been fun.
That should have been awesome. A flying pig.
It was so slow.
Oh,
it was so slow. Yeah, I think that's one thing that I did.
Yeah.
The other thing is I dated somebody who wanted to do a podcast together.
About like dating each other or just in general?
Nope. They didn't want to put it out there that we were dating each other. And I was like, okay. And then they wanted to do an anime recap podcast.
What?
And I was like, ha ha ha, okay. And then when they were like, oh, so let's do it. I was like, what? This is my job. It's not fun.
Yeah.
But I did it. I recorded an episode.
No
I have
way.
my track. I don't know if they still have it. But it was how you say, the most painful hour of my life.
Okay, you should start a podcast where you have to talk about something you hate for an hour. And you have to like act like you're into it, dude.
Well, I mean, Lapkus and I basically have that.
Oh yeah, pretty much doing Marvel shit and stuff.
Oh my God. I felt like I was being gaslit during a lot of those episodes because I'd be like, oh, this sucks. And they'd be like, and somebody would be like, no, it doesn't. For this reason, I'd be like, oh, yeah, you're right. It's really good. And I love it.
Tough.
Oh my God.
That's tough. Never mind. Don't
tough.
you dare do that to
also,
yourself.
During this podcast recording, I was like, I'm not hosting it. You want to do this, so you'll host it. So there was lots of dead air. And at one point, they were like, ooh, this is tough. And I was like, is it? Is it hard to host a wow. Okay. Oh, well, just take your time. Well, the soundboard doesn't work? Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Oh, and pretending I like jazz. I dated a man who was like, I need you to listen to this jazz.
Oh, man.
And I was like, okay. And I had to be like, wow, that's good. Ooh,
whoa, yeah, man, I feel it.
I love it. I love the beats on that one.
I tried to impress people in college. I tried to get into like hippie jam bands, like String Cheese Incident.
Excuse me?
Yeah, there's a band called String Cheese Incident, and I tried so hard. Because they love, multiple friends loved this, like, hippie jam band stuff. And I was like, yeah, I can get into this. And I would just sit there being like, oh, my God, this sucks. this is not good music. It's like bleeding from my nose. He's like, look at God, this sucks, man. I can't fucking handle this. Oh, it sucks.
The best part about this story is I know exactly the face you make when you're not pleased and you don't want to be somewhere because it's like pretty slight, but like I'm like, oh, Betsy's done.
I do wear a lot of my emotions on it. I had just recently, like, I came home from a show and I was like a little drunk and tired, and Gilly got a bunch of Thai. And she was like, you seemed so grumpy as soon as you walked in. She got a bunch of Thai food that I was like excited to eat. But she's like, you looked at it and you were like so disgusted. And I was like, no, I was just really drunk and tired and just like wanting to go to bed, but knowing I should eat before I go to bed. But I wear my feelings.
But I appreciate that. Because I don't necessarily. Sometimes I do. But when we were in Vegas and we were walking back from Caesars, and I was grumpy because it was just hot.
Yes.
And I remember just saying out loud, I was like, I'm grumpy. And Mano goes, okay.
Yeah.
And then everyone just kind of stopped talking to me, which I really loved.
Yes.
And we just like walked.
Yes.
And no one was like, walk faster, Nicole. And I was like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to do any of that. It was lovely.
I feel I've learned that from like Mano and Gilly and you, like that crew is so good at being like, just say it and you'll feel better saying it.
Yep.
It already feels great to be like, I'm grumpy, dude. And then the crew being like, okay, great. Like,
it's incredible. And I learned from you. Like, you're always like, oh, I had a great time last night or whatever. We got to hang again. And I don't really say that to people. And I'm like, I love that.
Dude, okay, good.
I love it so much.
I just love hitting people up, especially when it's just fun and being like,
so
let's do it again.
Yes. And then it's like, oh, I don't have to like think about like, oh, did I say something weird? Or like, maybe nobody wants to hang out with me ever again. It's like, no. It's nice. And it's just nice to tell friends that you love them.
I love
and
doing
like
that.
had a nice time.
I try to do that too, of just like if somebody pops in my head, I'll just be like, man, I love you.
And I love that.
Okay, get ready. Oh, you're going to get a lot of weird texts from me after this.
I fucking
hey,
can't
Nicole,
wait.
I'm outside your house.
Oh.
Don't come out yet.
Good, because I'm lost somewhere in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and I'm following you.
Wait, real quick, Betsy.
Yes.
Ooh, we gotta take a break.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't have a cat, but I have friends who treat their cats better than most people treat their kids. And those friends, they feed their fur babies Smalls cat food. It's fresh, protein-packed cat food made with preservative-free ingredients you'd actually recognize, like stuff from your own fridge. We're talking chicken, turkey, real fish, not mystery meat with an ingredients list that sounds like a chemistry experiment. And it's delivered right to your door. If your cat's having tummy troubles, throwing up food, or just seems bored by their bowl, it might be time for a glow up. I've seen it happen. I have one friend who said that her cat started getting zoomies after switching cat food. Look, I didn't ask for that info, but I'm happy for them. Cats.com named Smalls the best overall cat food, and they're doing good too. They've donated over $1 million in food to cats in need through the Humane World for Animals. I love that. What are you waiting for? Give your cat the food they deserve for a limited time only because you're a listener of this show. You can get 35% off Smalls plus an additional 50% off your first order by using my code DATEME. That's an additional 50% off when you go to smalls.com and use promo code DATEME. Again, that's promo code DATEME for an additional 50% off your first order, plus free shipping at smalls.com. Life doesn't happen bi-weekly, honey, so why should payday? If you're tired of waiting for the money you've already earned, let me introduce you to EarnIn. EarnIn is an app that gives you access to your pay as you work, up to $150 a day with a maximum of $750 between paychecks. It's super simple. Just download the EarnIn app, verify your paycheck, and boom! You can start earning your money whenever you need it. You leave an optional tip, and the money you access plus tips are automatically repaid from your next paycheck. Because sometimes Beyonce announces a tour and tickets drop way before payday. Or maybe you've had a long week and just want to treat yourself because, baby, you deserve it. EarnIn is all about giving you financial breathing room. Join the over 4 million people who use EarnIn and say things like, it gives me a lot of peace of mind. And who doesn't want peace of mind about their money? Download EarnIn today. That's spelled EARNIN in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the EarnIn app, type in Why Won't You Date Me under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show, please. Again, that's Why Won't You Date Me under podcast. Disclaimer.
EarnIn is a financial, technical company, not a bank. Cash outs are based on your available earnings. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Option to expedite your transfer for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. See the cash out user agreement for details. Service is not available in all states.
Will you tell me about living in a hotel?
Oh, yeah, dude. Okay.
I don't remember the why.
Okay, so we had a really wild neighbor who loved feral cats. And as soon as we moved into our place, me, Mono, and at the time Mary Sasson, we got a lot of shit from this neighbor. Just being like, you're so loud all the time, which we probably were. But, just anything. And one night I was out of town. I was in Portland doing a Torco show. And this neighbor, our Drew Tarver was over and Mono, and they were getting ready to go out on a Saturday night. It was like, I don't even think it was 8 o'clock yet, but they were like hanging out, listening to music and stuff. And neighbor comes down, banging on that window by our door, shatters it. And for a long time, like, the neighbor had been like a pretty big mess to where even our landlords were like, we don't know, we're trying to get them out. It's really hard to evict somebody. Shatters that window. Cops are called. They run away for a while. They truly were gone for like 2 months after
the neighbor?
Yes. Her and her partner. And they were gone for a while. And then our landlords were like, this is enough, we think, to evict, whatever. So then our neighbors are like, okay, let's go to court then. And they started snooping around being like, this house isn't officially, or whatever it is, 3
zoned
apartments.
To be a 3-plex?
Yes. Yeah, like it's still technically a single family home or whatever. So then they do get evicted. And then our landlords are like, well, we have to now do this. And they bought it thinking it was one of those things. They're like, we have to do this. So, and they own a bunch of hotels, including the Dunes Inn on Sunset. And they're like, we have to do this. You could come live at the Dunes Inn for only 2 weeks. And we're like, okay, all right. We can handle that. We can do that. 6 months. We were there for 6 months while they were like fixing up the house. All of us. So Mark and Steve were in the front part of the house. So all of us were living at the Dunes Inn on Sunset.
I didn't realize
Wilton.
It was 6 months.
Exactly 6 months. Because it was December 10th, and then we got back into the house on my birthday, June 10th, which is 6 months. And we lived in the Dunes, and it was pretty fun, but also like we were so
like,
just
I would like to not live in a hotel.
Yes.
I want my things.
Yes, especially like kind of a crappy hotel. Like it didn't have like cable. It didn't have like
You didn't have cable?
No. It did have HBO. It had like 3 channels. One was HBO.
Okay.
But where it would just play like the Three Stooges movie over and over again.
And you're like, I've seen this.
Yes.
I need to die.
But it was really funny. Like there was one weekend where there was like a great big like rockabilly, I guess, conference or concert or something, and a bunch of bands were staying at the Dunes.
Fun.
And they would like they would start partying at like 6 a.m. and then party till like 2 a.m. And we would just kind of like, I'd be walking through with groceries being like, cool, man. People are like pounding like bottles of liquor and like
at
playing
like 10 a.m.
basses. Yeah. It was pretty fun and wild seeing
That's
all
so
the different people.
Did you have to pay rent?
No.
Oh, see, that's
so
nice.
that made it way
very
easier.
nice. Also funny for them to be like, all right, we'll put you up in a hotel. Don't pay rent. And we'll I guess because it was supposed to be 2 weeks.
Yeah, because it kept being like 2 weeks would come and we're like, what's going on? They're like, probably another like week or two. Okay, what's going on? Probably another
week or two. And you're like,
then cut to
okay, it's been 6 months.
6 months.
God, that's so
There
wild.
was one morning, because it was a motel. So the doors open to the outside, like the parking lot's in the middle.
Yeah.
And there was one morning at like 8 o'clock or something. I just hear boo, 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 boo on my door. I'm like, what? What? And I open it and some dude's like, are you papaya? I was like, no, I don't know if there's a papaya living here. I'm a Betsy.
Are you
And then
papaya?
he just like manically walked away. He's like, sorry, and like walked away. I was like, who's papaya?
I gotta know who papaya is.
Who's papaya? What is papaya doing?
What? That's really funny.
It was wild.
Are you papaya?
Are
No,
you
I'm
papaya?
a Betsy.
No, man.
God, that's
You
so
woke me up in my
funny.
hotel room.
In Vegas.
Yes.
I was in a room with Steve and Mono, and someone knocked on the door, and we were like, who is it? And they just said, let me in.
Oh.
And I said, let him in. Let's see what's up. And Mono was like, no. And then put an ironing board up to the door like that was going to help if they broke the door down.
Funny. I mean, maybe it would like shock them a little bit.
And be like, oh my God, an obstacle course.
Yeah, like I wasn't planning on that.
I'm looking for papaya.
Ew, let me in.
Yeah, just softly.
That is so creepy.
Let me in.
Nicole.
Well, I was like, I don't know. This person might be fun. Who knows? A fun Vegas story, you know?
Just randomly knocking on doors.
Let me in. And the funny part is, I've done that before. I used to get real drunk when I lived in New York and then go home because that's what you do.
Uh-huh.
And I lived in 27 and directly underneath was 21.
Uh-huh.
And it was a 6th-floor walk-up. And I'd be like, far enough. And I'd knock on the door. And they'd be like, you don't live here? And I'd be like, let me in.
Come on, I'm tired,
Please,
man.
please just let me in. And when I moved out, I sent them like a little card that was like, sorry for all the times I knocked on your door. You guys were very gracious and nice. But once I did had to let the dad climb from my window into his window because he
got locked out.
He locked his child into the apartment.
Oh my God.
Thank God I was home.
Yeah.
That would have been terrible.
Yeah.
Could you believe?
How old was the kid? I guess not old enough to unlock the door.
Yeah, like a toddler.
So that's Oh my God.
Another reason I don't want children. I would leave it places.
Yes, all the time.
I lose important things
all
the time.
All the time.
I've left my phone on the roof of my car. Imagine I put a bassinet up there. And watch the baby bounce down the road.
There's a Jackass where they do that.
Wait, really?
And it is so funny watching people watch the like huge SUV just be like, oh, I got a baby on it.
That's very funny.
Yeah,
But I
would be like, for probably a couple of days, like, whoa, my life rules. And then I'd realize, like, oh, it's because my kid's not here.
I lost
Where
my
are
kid.
they?
Oh, no.
I left them at Dave & Buster's, which honestly, that's pretty fun for a kid.
That would be so funny if you left a child at Dave & Buster's. I went to Dave & Buster's and I ordered a children's drink because it was purple. And I was like, can you put vodka in it? And he goes, yes. And I was like, how come it's not in the kid's cup? And he's like, I can't put alcohol in a kid's cup. And I was like, but who's going to know?
I'm not giving it to a kid.
Oh, maybe he thought that's what I was going to do.
That's fucked up.
But why would I share alcohol with a child?
Yeah, no way. They're not going to appreciate it.
No.
They're going to just fall asleep too fast.
Yeah. Hey, get out! We're having fun.
Come on, we're at Dave & Buster's. Let's
Rally,
go.
you fucking idiot.
Let's throw some axes.
Do you want kids?
No. God, no. Dear Lord, no. I'm so unfit to be a mother. Happily. I'm happily unfit. No, it's never even, there's not been an ounce of that in my life.
Never?
No.
Wow.
Not one bit.
When I was in like high school, a little bit after high school, I was like, yeah, I want 5 kids.
5, Nicole!
I wanted 5 children. And then was a nanny for too long. And I was like, oh, no.
I feel everybody should have to work with kids.
I think so. Living ones.
Yes.
Because sometimes they give you Sometimes they give you that real baby and you just put a key in it. That doesn't work.
No.
Real babies.
No, because you can still like put that like in your drawer and be like, whatever.
And
I
be
don't
like, whatever.
care. I'll get a
Who
B.
cares?
I'll get a B in class. I don't care.
But a living baby?
Yes.
Oh my God. Sometimes they keep crying and you don't know why.
Oh, and that's so sad and freaky.
Yeah.
I couldn't
feel like
handle
there's
it.
something wrong with you and I don't know what.
I couldn't handle it. Yeah, I think people need to work customer service no matter what. And if they want kids, have to take care of living kids.
I agree. I did like working customer service because I was like good with people.
Of course. I could see you be great with people.
One of the most historically worst waitresses in the world. And I made good money.
I bet.
I would drop drinks on people. I would forget full orders. I know I've talked about it on the podcast, but I would like go to tables without my little pad and I'd be like, what do you guys want? And I remember I didn't have my pad to write it down and I'd be like, oh no, they've started. And I'd let them get through their whole order. And then I'd go to the like little computer and be like, do I remember? No. And I'd go back with my pad and be like, that was a test. Just to confirm.
You're ready to order.
Just to confirm, y'all really want what you want. Tell it to me again.
Already I want to give you tips. Just for that, I'd be like, here's $20. Thanks for a good time.
And then if people ask for multiple things, I'd say, okay, I might come back with all of it, some of it, or none of it. The count starts now. And then when I came back with all of it, 9 times out of 10, I would get a round of applause. For doing the bare minimum.
That rules.
I was so bad.
I like you setting up, though, to be like, hey, there's a good chance I will mess this up.
Yeah, I will.
But I'm taking care of you.
Yeah.
I'm warning you.
I'll be nice.
We need more of that, too, of just kind of like, I would love for people to just be like, just so you know, like, I really don't like this. I don't like working here. Rather than them fake, where it's like, we can tell you hate this.
And I love a server when you're like, oh, is this good? And they go, well,
yes,
you know, I wouldn't.
Yes, I love it.
Like,
I appreciate that so much. Where it's like, I need to know that.
Or I haven't tasted it yet. That's great.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But I hate when they're like, oh, yeah, it's great. Is it a big portion? Oh, yeah, it's so big. And then it comes and it's a Skittle. And you're like, what?
Skittle.
I'm like, what is this? This is a bitter Skittle? I don't want this.
I don't want a bitter Skittle.
It's nasty. Get out of
here. Ew. Like a Skittle that's been sucked on for a long time. It's like kind of white now. And you're like, ew.
Sometimes the way we think about our food and our bodies can be, complicated. How many of us have looked in the mirror and gone, ugh, God, or eaten a snack and immediately felt bad about it? Yeah, me too. You might find yourself constantly dieting, feeling stressed every time you eat, or being extra hard on yourself about your body, but it doesn't have to be this way. There's a better option. If you're ready for real support, let me tell you about Equip. Equip is a virtual evidence-based eating disorder treatment program that helps you heal your relationship with food and your body right from home. Every Equip patient gets their own dedicated team of experts. That means a therapist, a dietitian, a medical provider, and even a mentor who's been through it and understands exactly what you're experiencing. Equip fits right into your everyday life, so you don't have to put everything on pause just to get the care that you deserve. They take insurance, treat people of all ages and backgrounds, and there's no wait list, so you can start feeling better immediately. To learn more about Equip's virtual eating disorder treatment, visit equip.health/dateme. That's equip.health/dateme. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's your bestie. Either way, it doesn't hurt to peek at Equip. You might be glad you did. This episode of Why Won't You Date Me is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.com has vacation rentals and hotels across the U.S. And truly, they have the ideal summer stay for absolutely anyone. I'm talking about your sleep light, early riser mom, your picky partner, or the whole high maintenance group chat. Whether you're planning a romantic weekend, a friend's trip, or just need to get out of your house because you're tired of looking at the same 4 walls, Booking.com has you covered. When I'm traveling to a new city, I'm always looking to stay at like a cute new boutique hotel, and I want something unique, a little glam, a place with a velvet couch, maybe a clawfoot tub, and the windows that overlook the city. I want to be located in the city so I can shop around and then come back to do my beautiful makeup in a gorgeous bathroom and take a selfie in an amazing room for the gram that will make my ex jealous. It's a tough ask, but I've always found what I'm looking for on Booking.com. So I know you can too. Find exactly what you're booking for. Booking.com. Booking.yeah. Book today on the site or in the app. Once I was working at Lane Bryant, I wonder if I've talked about this. This man used to call and be like, how big are your panties? And I'd be like, at first I would answer like normal, like, oh, we started at 14, 16, and we go to 26, 28. And he'd be like, how big is that 26, 28? I'm like, pretty big. How big?
That is
I'd be like,
so funny.
Wide enough to fit your butt? And we've extended sizes online? How big?
How big?
I think it goes up to a 34.
What did he want? Like, you could put a trash can in it. How big's a trash can?
Have you ever seen 2 hams?
Yeah.
Ooh, fit that in there.
Yeah.
And then the second time he called, I'd be like, ooh, big. And he'd be like, yeah.
Oh, I know what you want, sir. Okay. How funny.
It was Lane Bryant, Lame Giant, was one of the wildest places I've ever worked. Truly, no money. And I had to do so much. And you had to sell credit cards with like,
whoa.
The interest was so high. It'd be like 26% or whatever.
I feel bad for even offering this to someone.
So I would say, because you would get 10% off. And I'm like, you're not actually saving if you're paying the minimum on it. So I'd be like, are you paying with a debit card today? And they'd be like, yes. I'd be like, do you want to open a credit card and then immediately pay it off?
Oh, smart.
And then they told me to stop doing that.
Of course.
Isn't that wild?
Of course. I worked at the Gap in high school.
Oh.
And I didn't have any Gap clothes. And you needed them to wear them. But I was also like, I don't have money to buy them yet. Like, can I? And they would they were constantly like, you need to get Gap clothes. And I was like, you need to pay me money.
Pay me
and
money.
And then I will get your Gap clothes, dude.
I feel like if it's like a policy that you have to wear the clothes, they should give you some clothes.
You should get an outfit.
Give me an outfit. Give me 2 outfits. If I'm working more than 2 days a week, I can rotate those too. Yes. Rude.
I hated it so much. People would ask for sizes. Like, let me go check in the back. And then I would just stand there like, head down, shoulders slumped, just being like, just powering off. So much. I hate this so much. And then I'd come out and be like, we don't have them. And then somebody else would go back and be like, we do have them. I'm like, okay.
I would do that.
Get me out of here.
The time.
Yes.
I'd be like, yeah, sorry, we don't have it. And then sometimes they put me in the fitting room.
Yeah.
And sometimes it smelled like a locker room. I won't lie. It was kind of nasty.
Yeah.
But once a lady peed on the floor. We were like, we don't have a bathroom. And she was like, oh, you don't? And then went into the fitting room and peed everywhere.
Oh my God.
Isn't that wild?
What's going on? What? It's been happening forever. What's going on?
I don't know. And then one lady returned tights with period blood in them. And I had to take them back.
Why? Just
because that was our policy.
Yeah.
We took everything back.
Yeah.
And I was like, you wore these. And she said, no, I didn't. I said, no, you can't do that.
Don't you do that?
I said, ma'am, let's be real. You wore these up and down. You wore them hard.
We're going to do a DNA test. And you wore these.
We're going to send this to the SVU unit. And we're going to get some diagnostics.
We're going to find out.
Okay, we're going to find out your criminal intent, you stupid bitch.
Ew, that's wild.
Isn't that nasty?
I definitely have returned stuff to Target after shoots and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Truly with dirt on it. And they're like, yeah, this is fine. Yeah, we'll take it back. I was like, okay.
In high school, I used to return things to Nordstrom with no receipt because they would give you a cash option. So I would not have bought them. I would have stolen them and returned it for money.
Whoa.
Thanks, Nordstrom.
Nordstrom.
But they changed their policy, so I can say that on the record. Oh, my God. Should I not? Anyway, Betsy.
It was a wild time.
Let's go back to dating for a hot second.
Okay.
Do you have any advice for single people?
Well, I'm kind of embrace it. Have fun. But that's kind of just because that's all I know, really, But I feel like so many people, and we've had friends like this too, of like having to immediately jump into a new relationship.
Yes.
And it's like, I think it's okay to chill out and like work on yourself. Like, sure, go out with, like, go on dates and stuff. But it's also okay to like be single for a while.
Yeah. I agree. And I honestly think that's good advice because you might discover some shit about yourself. Like maybe you don't like being in a relationship or maybe the things you want have changed.
Yeah.
Like I also people who do relationships back to back don't make any sense to me. I'm like, so you became accustomed to this person in your life and then you're going to immediately become accustomed to something else?
Yeah.
Why? You don't want quiet?
Yeah. You don't want to just a moment to just chill out a little bit.
Be with yourself?
Just be with yourself. Because, I feel you learn more about yourself. And, like, it is as cheesy as it is, it's like RuPaul. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? But it is huge to be like, well, what makes me happy? That's gonna bleed into every relationship and stuff. And if this person isn't making me feel good, then it's gonna suck.
Yeah. I spent like a chunk of time in between relationships, and the thing I learned was like, if the person doesn't want to be in a relationship, I have to move on.
Yes.
Like if they don't want to be in a relationship and they're like, oh no, I'm just kind of dating. It's like, nope, move on, get out of there. I don't want that again.
Yes.
And I don't think I would have like learned that about myself if I had immediately jumped into another thing and been like, oh, I'll just go with the flow.
Yeah, I'll do whatever you want me to do. And it's like, no, it doesn't have to be like that.
No, it sure doesn't.
And it bums me out when you see that happening, as, with good friends and stuff, where it's like, it's okay to chill out.
Chill out. It's fine. You're okay.
Yeah. And you'll take this time and you'll be happier for it. I promise you.
That's what I think.
I think it's okay to embrace it.
It's okay to embrace it. Also, it's nice to not check in with somebody all the time.
Yeah, I don't know what that's like.
Betsy, it's unhinged. Like, you'll be planning a trip with friends and be like, oh yeah, I have to tell that person that I'm going away.
I have to make sure that's okay.
Yeah, that like you're fine with, or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it is okay. Like it's like, hey, I'm going to be going away. I'm planning a trip. Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
But then like I'm used to just planning it and being like, oh yeah, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do that. In my relationship now, I'm like, oh, here are my tour dates. We finally just shared a calendar because I'd be like, sorry, I'm gone. Sorry,
especially
I'm gone.
where it is like almost every weekend being like, I'm actually out of town. Holy shit.
Oh, that fun thing you want to do? Can't
do it.
Sorry.
Plan something Philly, dude.
During the week. Oh my God. I'll be in Philly this weekekend.
Hey,
well,
but not June weekend.
So this is June. I was in Philly. I had a great time. Betsy.
Yes.
Do you have anything you want to promote? We've come to the end.
Oh my God, we did it. That was so fun.
Oh, thank you for doing it.
Thanks for having me.
You're simply
Sorry
the best.
I don't have much of relationship stuff, but hey, we did it. We survived.
I don't know. I think it's interesting and good for people to hear that it's okay to not want that.
Yeah.
And that it's okay to be happy with yourself and do things that make you happy. So I think this episode was a triumph.
Yeah. You hear that, listeners? It was a triumph in your face.
Yeah, fuck you if you were thinking otherwise.
Yeah, come on. It's fine. It was good. How dare you? You already shut it off. You already shut it off when I was like, nah, I don't really care about it. I guess check out podcasts. Since this is a podcast.
Yeah.
Check out Funny Feeling. Me and Marcy Jaro. It's a spooky fun. Nicole's been on. It's a great episode where we just talk to friends. Do you have a new ghost story? Or wait, what?
No, I was gonna say we love trash. I forgot to say that up top.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I'll say it.
Okay.
I'll say it. And we love trash. Me and Mono Agapian. Just kind of celebrating everything trashy. Movies, shows, ourselves, food.
I do love that. Have you covered Craven on We Love Trash?
No, not yet.
If you would like a guest, I would love to talk about it.
Okay.
I will say this. I watched Craven over the weekend twice. I bought it for $20 in the hotel.
Oh my God.
And then when I got home, I was like, I have to stop spending money on this
because
I keep renting it.
Just own it.
So I finally bought it.
Good. I love when movies like really strike you as like, I need this in my life. The Boy Next Door.
Oh, The Boy Next Door is a perfect
I love
movie.
it so much. I saw it 3 times in the theater. I bought the DVD multiple times because I kept lending it to people at parties. Being like, you need to watch this movie. It's perfect. And being like, I don't know who I gave it to. And then I'll buy it again.
That's so funny.
I love when movies just hit.
That's me with Craven.
Okay, we will
I can
watch
watch it anytime, anywhere.
Let's do an episode. Let's get the footlong nachos from Subway.
Yes.
Because we got to try
Yes.
those. And then watch Craven and scream about it.
Oh, I would really love that.
Yes.
There's
We'll do it.
a scene where it's clear that they used AI on this woman's mouth.
God.
And it's nuts. Also, characters appear, things happen that aren't resolved. It is my favorite movie. I love Aaron Taylor-Joy. I think he's so wonderful.
Yes.
I love him so much. He's so charismatic and hot.
Yes.
Anyway, do you want to promote Ghosts?
Yeah, watch Ghosts. I guess it's June, but a new season will start probably in October or something. But watch it. It's on Paramount Plus.
Betsy's on it, and she's so funny.
It's a blast of a show. I think people will really
You're so
enjoy
funny
it.
on
Thank
it.
you. I get to be just a weirdo
Which is
in a potato sack. It rules.
your outfit is really funny. It's so dirty.
It's filthy.
It's so gross.
It's filthy. And there will be some times where I'm like eating lunch and I'll like drop something on it and then be like, oh no. And then I'll be like, it's fine. It's fine if there's a barbecue stain now. Who cares?
Doesn't matter. Just adding to the character.
Yeah, just helping out.
Well, if you like this episode, you can like it, you can rate it, you can subscribe, you can give me 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. And if you write me something nasty hitting on me to whywontyoudatemepodcast@gmail.com, I will read it.
Yes.
Dear Nicole, if we ever dated, I'd pull up in a cherry red 3000 GT. It's my favorite car.
Yes.
One hand on the wheel, the other on your thigh. Greasy from a tray of Little Dom's lasagna that I stupidly thought we'd save for later.
Stupidly.
I'd eat that lasagna off your tits. And then I'd eat you like I just broke a 6-day fast and your pussy's the first solid thing I've had in days.
Oh no, I'm getting horny. Oh no.
Betsy, keep it together.
Oh, no.
Keep it together.
Read it faster.
I'd fuck you like I'm trying to knock the trauma loose and refinance your soul at 2.9% APR. This is funny.
This is brilliant.
Mid-stroke, I'd whisper, you're hilarious. You're iconic. You are the moment. Then I'd hit you with, I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it and actually do it. When we're done, leg shaking, lasagna on your tit, me blinking like I just saw the ending of The Sixth Sense, I'd wipe you down, feed you bites between kisses, and hold on to you like I just won you in a horny custody battle. So, Nicole, why won't you date me? Filthily yours, Lasagna Daddy.
Lasagna Daddy. That was beautiful.
That was lovely. And it included 2 of my favorite things, a Mitsubishi 3000 GT and Little Dom's lasagna that they only serve on Fridays. And if you go after 8 p.m., they will be sold out, which is sad.
I didn't even know they had lasagna.
They keep it a secret. It's only on Fridays. And they don't bake enough for the day.
That's so LA of them.
It's so mean.
Being like, sorry.
It's so mean.
You need to know the proper time to come and get our lasagna. That's that was really good. I would read a whole book about that night.
It's so good. Thank you. Well, Betsy, that's it.
Woo!
Signing off from Los Angeles, California. Bye-bye.
Peace.
In the world. Thank you.
Yes.
Betsy.
Do you want to ask Betsy if she'd date you?
Oh, shit.
Right. Okay.
Oh, Betsy, we did end the episode, but
we're back.
We're back because I forgot to ask you the question I ask everybody, but I have missed it on like 5 episodes. Would you date me?
Absolutely. I think we would have a blast dating.
Thank you. I asked this to Colton Dunn, and he had such a pregnant pause that I was like, I think I'll kill myself.
Guns under the bed.
Yeah, John, get the gun ready.
John.
Oh my God, where's my improv
what
gone?
did he say?
I did this for a phone.
I did too earlier, and I was like, oh no, this is a phone.
John, get the phone ready. No, the gun. What?
John, get the phone ready. I would absolutely date. What did Colton say? Yes.
No, I think he said, because we played boyfriend and girlfriend on Grand Crew. And he's like, we've already dated. And I was like, that
Come
that
on.
was a cop-out. That was his answer, right?
Yeah.
Rude.
Come on, Colton.
Rude,
What the hell, dude?
Colton.
But I would. It would be a blast.
Thank you, Betsy. Bye.
That was a HeadGum podcast.